Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Vlad, a technical support engineer here at EasyDMARC, and today we'll be discussing the SPF and DKIM alignment. These protocols are important to ensure your email security and to make sure your domains are protected from phishing and spoofing attacks. In this video, we'll be explaining the SPF and DKIM alignment, how they work, why they are important, how to achieve them. So let's get started. Now, before talking about the SPF and DKIM alignment, let's talk about these protocols themselves. First, SPF, which stands for Sender Policy Framework, is the first email authentication protocol that was introduced in the early 2000s. SPF allows you to whitelist all the IP addresses that are allowed to send emails from your domain. After these emails are sent, the receiving side validates the IP addresses and makes sure that they're coming from an authorized server. Now a bit more about DKIM. DKIM is short for Domain Keys Unidentified Mail. It's an authentication protocol used to place a digital signature on email sent from your servers. It's an asymmetric key cryptography used to verify the message integrity. It signs data with two keys, public and private. The sending server uses the private key to sign the message, while the receiving side uses the public key to decrypt the message and compare it with the original signature. If the signatures match, the DKIM is classified as a pass and confirming the validity and the integrity of the email. Now let's talk about the alignment. Both SPF and DKIM alignment were introduced by DMARC to overcome the limitation of SPF and DKIM of not protecting the user visible from address. Now let's talk about each one separately. SPF alignment ensures that the two from headers of an email have matching domains. In that case, SPF will be aligned. So, in an example where email has the from domain of example.com, the mail from or the return path domain should also be example.com or a subdomain of example.com. If it's not, the SPF will not be aligned. Let's look at some specific examples. So, here, in the first example, we can see that the from address has the email noreply@easydmarc.com, while the return path or the mail from is notifications.easydmarc.com. In both of those cases, the domain is easydmarc.com, which means that SPF is aligned. If we take a look at the second example, the from address has the domain bbc.com, while the return path or the mailed by is mailout.io. In this case, the SPF alignment will fail because the domains are not matching. Now let's talk about DKIM alignment, which is similar to SPF alignment. To achieve DKIM alignment, we must ensure that the domain of the D value matches with the domain of the from address of the email. Now let's look at this specific example. In this case, we can see that the signed by, which is referred to the DKIM signature, the signed by domain we can see is example.com. The from address of the email we can also see is example.com. In this case, the DKIM is aligned. Now let's look at the second example. In this example, the signed by domain of the email is mailout.io, which in fact doesn't match with the domain given in the from address of this email, which is bbc.com. In this case, the DKIM is unaligned. So for major mailbox providers such as Google Workspace and Microsoft 365, they provide you with the necessary information that you need to add in your DNS zone with the include mechanisms to achieve SPF authentication and also DKIM authentication and alignment. But for ESPs though, that is not the case because they are the ones actually handling the bounce addresses. In those cases, they are usually the ones providing you with the CNAME records that you need to add in your DNS to achieve SPF alignment and also DKIM alignment. In some cases though, you will never be able to achieve SPF alignment since the ESPs are not SPF capable. In those cases, we gotta make sure that the DKIM is configured properly to ensure that the DMARC passes. As you guys can see, it tends to get a little tricky, especially when you're dealing with ESPs. That's why we're here with EasyDMARC to make sure that the process is smooth and sailing. We have more than 1,400 sending sources in our system. We also have the easy-to-read aggregate report dashboard from where you can identify and fix all the authentication and alignment issues in no time. In summary, SPF and DKIM alignment are crucial for your email security. Proper alignment ensures your emails are fully DMARC compliant. From here, you can already fully enforce DMARC and move forward with the further steps. That's it for today. If you have any questions, please reach out to our team at EasyDMARC.com.